Hello there guys, and a very warm welcome to the Crypted UK YouTube channel. And what I want to be talking to you about today is a little bit what we're about and what our future plans are and where we plan to go with this. So basically we are a cryptocurrency education company that plan to teach people, the regular investor, how to actually invest in cryptocurrency and provide analysis and regular news reports to the masses on a regular basis. Now, there's a couple of pairs that I want to start analyzing to kick things off, and they're going to be XRP USD, BTC USD, and Ethereum USD. Now, there's a few things that are going to come they're going to be a bit cloudy to start with, so I'm going to just run through exactly what I use to analyze my charts and levels and key levels and such, and we'll go into that a bit deeper in further videos. But first of all, what I want to teach you about is support and resistance. So as we're looking at the chart here, we can see that the 10th of July 2017 is when we hit our lows on XRP at 0.12771, and on the 25th of December 2017 we can see we hit the highs of 0.326. Now from these 2 points, these are our high and lows for all time. So these are our all-time highs and our all-time lows. We can mark these on the chart using our horizontal line tool, which is over to the left hand side. You will find all your line tools and your parallel channels and stuff like that. And so what you would want to do is go to your left hand side of the page of tradingview, and you'd want to go to the right hand side of trend line and click the little star next to it. It should be unhighlighted. I want you to highlight on the trend line, highlight the horizontal ray. The next thing we'll do is go down to the brush tool, go to the side, highlight rectangle, favorite that, and favorite the eclipse. And also we'd want to go to our pitchfork tool here, go to the side, the little drop down menu, and favorite the Fibonacci retracement. And what that will do is bring up a little toolbar here that we can easily drag around and move to where we want it. Basically, I like having this on the chart so I can easily access my lines to draw out my levels. Now we don't want that. Now the first thing we want to do is mark the lows. So we'll go over to our horizontal ray tool, go over to our bottom of the candle here where we hit the lows of 0.12 and mark it across there. Now if you want to change the color, click on the line itself and you will be able to change the color of your lines right here. Now because this is a low, let's have it as red. Now click back, and at the top here we want to do the same for the highs, but instead of a red line we'd want to change this to a nice bright green color to mark our highs. So now we have our line. I just dragged it over there, sorry about that. So now we have our support and resistance lines of the all-time highs set up. Now what we'd want to do from here is we can go over to our rectangle tool, and what we'll want to be finding here is support and resistance zones. These are zones that have been touched multiple times, have been used as support. So firstly we can see that the main there's huge area of resistance and support at this level here at the 0.296 region. So what we'd want to do is make sure our rectangle selected, go over to the bottom of here and try and get as many touches in this zone as possible. So there we go. So now this is a key support and resistance zone. So it was used as resistance here, so it struggled to break, and it's used as support here, so it struggled to break below. And if we want to make this a bit cleaner, what we'd want to do is right click, go on visual order and center back. That way our candles will overlay our box tool. Now going a little bit further up, we can see that we have another resistance zone here. It's a little bit smaller, but as we can see it's been respected all the same. So what we'd want to do is draw to there, right click, visual order, center back, and that way it just cleans up our chart a bit. So I already have a chart with all these drawn on already, but for the purposes of this video I want to show you exactly how I do that, rather than me just opening up my chart and you just being like, what? I don't understand. So after we've drawn these couple of levels of support zones on, we'll go for another one. Let's say here was a pretty significant zone, so we'll drag that all the way along here. Right click, visual order, center back. So now we have these clear 3 zones marked on our chart, which can be used to trade off these levels. Now if we were to buy at the bottom of this zone, we can usually guarantee that this zone will hold support and break higher. Now what could happen is what's happened along here, and we'll stay in this sort of region, but we can trade between these levels because we've got 0.28 at the bottom here and 0.37 at the top here, which is a significant margin of percentage gains that you could potentially make if you were actually trading in between these zones. Now for a push to the upside, we would be looking at a break of one of these zones, either to the downside or the upside. So if we were to break in a downward sort of region, what we could see would happen is we would go down towards our lows of 0.12. But then if we were to break for the upside, so if we were to break these support zones, what we would be looking at is a push towards our highlighted zone up here, 0.62. Now in the site of analysis, what we want to do generally is keep our charts as clean as possible. So when we come to analyze these in future, we can actually gauge a better view of how the market is reacting to these levels. Now I want to leave it at that for now for XRP, but what we'll do is move into BTC and do the exact same thing for that chart. So with BTC, we can see it's been going a lot longer, and our main sort of thing to do to start with is mark our highs and our lows. So we can see we got highs of 20,000 up here and lows of 236 down here. Now when we select our line tool, we're presented with a toolbar at the top here. This is an easier way to change the color, so we'll change this to red. So now we have our highs and our lows marked. We can then look at doing our support and resistance zones. Now we have a huge significance around the 3000 region. So what I'll do is take my rectangle, go from the touches here. We want the most touches as possible, so we'll go in here and we'll drag it to around 3,500 like that. Right click, visual order, center back, just to make it a lot cleaner. And another significant zone that stands out right in front of my eyes is the 6,000 zone, which we would want to go from here down to the bottom here, 5881, and we'll bring it to 6770. Visual order, center back, just to keep things nice and clean. And another significant zone that's standing out to me right about now is when we hit our all-time highs at 20,000, we immediately pull back to around 11,000. So I would want to mark this on my chart as a significant zone of support. All the way to 11,800. Visual order, center back, and we could do more on the way down, but to be honest, there's not many touches as it was going up, so we're going to keep that area pretty blank for now. But what I will draw is a significant region before it started to accelerate a bit faster, which was this area here. So we'll want to draw a support line around 1,200, and we'll leave that red because that was our support line. And as you can see, as we look at this BTC chart, if you were looking to trade off these levels, then you would be looking at sells around the 5,700 mark, around that sort of region, and we'd be looking to hold that all the way down to like the 3,000 area. So that would be our levels of significance right there. Now that's pretty much the BTC chart done, and bearing in mind these are all on the weekly candles. But so if we go into our daily candles, we can see everything looks a bit more zoomed in and the chart looks completely different. But you can just see how it reacts when it gets to these sort of levels. And this is the main thing we want to gauge from this. So we'll keep on our weekly candles and we'll go to Ethereum. Now, all these charts are pretty much pegged to the BTC chart at the moment because BTC is the most dominant of all the cryptos. And we could do the exact same thing. So by now you're probably getting the hang of this. So go to your horizontal ray, mark your lows, 5.84. and mark your highs at 1,423. Change color to green for resistance. Now you want to go into your rectangle zones. You can see a pretty significant zone around this area here, around the 75 mark. Drag that along. Right click, visual order, center back. Another zone of significance, which is pretty close, is around here. The 150 mark. We'll drag that up to 187. Again, visual order, center back. And another zone of significance right here. At the 350 mark. Drag that along. Visual order, center back. Now we could mark another one up here. Yeah, let's do it. We'll mark another one up here around the top end of our range. So we go from 640 and we'll go up to 798, about there. So you move that out of the way, and visual order, center back. It's not really important that you do the visual order and send it to the back, because it's just for aesthetics really, just to make the chart look much cleaner when you're analyzing it. And as you can see, we'd be looking for sells off this region. So all in all, it would be a pretty good time to sell Ethereum because of this rejection, but because we're at the lower end of the box region, it would be a bit more risky, because it could get trapped in this zone for like an extended period of time. But that would be what we would look for if we were looking to trade these pairs. So that's basically the three charts set up. Now if you're watching any other cryptocurrencies, you can do the exact same thing with your chart throughout all the coins, but just so you know exactly where you are when you're analyzing your charts, where your highs are, where your lows are, you can immediately come to the side and you can see exactly where them lines are. Now I hope this video has been some help to you, and feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe to the channel. You can follow my Twitter page at Jake Levi Warren, Instagram page at Jake Levi Warren, and join us in the next video.